Hello, and welcome to the Wild Report. My name is Cleo, and I'm your host. So let's jump right in and see what's happening at the Wild Center. Throughout June and through the rest of the summer, we'll be open every day from 10 to 5. Don't forget that we have live animal encounters in our theater every day at 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. Stop by to meet some of our animal ambassadors. In local news, the 49th annual Tupper Lake Art Show will be showcasing a wide variety of different works from local and regional artists from now until June 26th. The New York Breeding Bird Atlas is seeking contributions from birdwatchers in the Adirondacks. They're documenting a census for bird breeding activity and are encouraging all interested birdwatchers in the Adirondacks to record their findings on eBird, a digital tool for recording bird observations. Now, let's go to Kathleen with the weather report.
Hi everybody, it's Kathleen with the weather. So this Thursday is going to be quite a rainy one. Rain all day long pretty much following those storms on Thursday. It's going to be a cloudy week in the 60s until Monday when it's supposed to be stormy again. But don't worry folks, when you're visiting here at the Wild Center, we have plenty to see inside and out. So with that being said, and before we go look for our wildflower, some additional fun news. In California, a court has ruled that their native bumblebee species are now protected under their Endangered Species Act as, get this, fish. So, great news for us in the world of animal sciences and education, but interesting news for the bumblebees. All right, let's go find our flower. It should be right around this corner. All right, so our wildflower today is quite a nice one. This here is a type of blue flag iris. It has a few other names like the larger blue flag or the harlequin blue flag iris, Iris versicolor. And this is our native species of iris. What's interesting about these plants is that they are actually wetland obligate species. So they need to be, as this one is, right next to a wetland, a bog, a fen, a marsh, somewhere where there is water, as this one is. They can actually tolerate submersion up to 6 inches. For their root system, which is pretty impressive. I'm also being very careful not to touch too much of this plant because the chemical in its fluids can actually be very irritating to some people's skin. Also, I would not recommend eating any part of this plant. So just keep in mind, not only are these plants beautiful and have wonderful defenses against things that want to eat them, but they are, in my opinion, much more beautiful than those invasive yellow irises.
Let's see how our compost garden is doing and get some gardening tips.
As you can see, we've had quite a lot of growth, which is very exciting. Remember, we used a mixture of soil and our own compost here made at the Wild Center to put this together. Any yellowing you see of the leaves are because some of our leafy greens and herbs have been ready for harvest for a while, and we might have forgotten to be on top on that. So when you have a garden at home, make sure you're keeping a close eye on all of your plants, and they will kind of let you know when it's time, either for water or some sun, or when it's time for you to take some of those leaves off. Okay. So while we're here at the garden, we'll make sure to do our weeding, make sure there's no competing plants trying to get all those nutrients from the ones we're trying to grow, and then we might do some harvesting. So thanks for joining, and we'll check in again later on in the season.
This week's viral animal video is a moose caught on camera that has recently gone viral for appearing to walk on water. Let's show our animal care staff and see what they think.
I suppose the water can't be that deep. Just galloping right across, no problem. Yeah, my guess is that this moose is probably on a sandbar. So you see they've got a little V-hull aluminum boat. Sounds like not a super big motor. It's probably not that far down in the water column anyways. So I'm going to guess that he's on a sandbar. Not something you want to hit in your boat. Been there, done that.
For this week's animal check-in, let's see how Binky's doing.
Today with me is one of our very special animal ambassadors. This is Binky, the albino wood turtle. Now, most of us have heard of albinism before, but I bet a lot of people don't exactly know what that means. And what it means is that Binky here has no natural pigment in his skin. So his shell, his legs, his head, even his eyes. That is why he's this kind of orangey color. Normally wood turtles are sort of an olivey green, sort of brownish color. They have a little bit of orange on their front legs, but that's it. But he has none of that pigment, so he's this really interesting color.
The answer to last week's trivia question is that snakes shed 3 to 6 times per year, depending on their species. For today's trivia question, what turtle species are native to the Adirondacks? Put your answers in the comments below and check back next week for the correct answer. Thanks for following along. Have a great week and don't forget to stay wild.